keen on understanding how, when you become a senator, ultimately, that you will reignite this process and make sure that betting is controlled in the country. Mheshimiwa, let's take a break.
Actually, the main issue that
yes.
I worry, we were saying, that we have that period, the watershed period.
Yes.
We are saying, there are young children who are betting, using phones that, each of us, your child between maybe 10 to around 18 years, those who don't have IDs yet, they use SIM cards that are bought by the parents. But we have challenges. This is something that is supposed to be done by adults, but it's done within, say, 6, because the law is very clear that this particular program should be done between around 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But as early as morning, as early as 6, they have already started. People are already calling the radio and the TV.
Yes.
They're already doing it in the morning. Instead of doing when the youth, when the children, the school-going children are already in bed. But they are doing it during the daytime.
Yes.
So that's why we wanted to ensure the Betting and the Licensing Control Board ensures they tighten the rules.
All right.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa, let's take a break. When we come back, I'm still going back to that, because this particular debate was started even by the late MP, Jakoyo Midio.
Or in the 9th Parliament.
Yes.
And the 10th, exactly, yeah.
Let's talk about that and much more when we come back after this break.
Joshua Kimmich sent it in! Charlie Rudiger's there! Powerful header! But the joy is short-lived. The check is over, and unfortunately, he's just strayed the wrong side of the line. The delivery is fantastic, and Rudiger's header is...
Short-lived celebrations for the Moroccans, as they were judged to have been offside, because Saisi was offside. VAR had to come in and the goal could not count. One-on-ones cannot come through because of the many players that are in their own half. But now Musiala, second booking we've got here, and the first one for the Spanish side. Abri. Second ball supposed to have been made for Kimishi, but again the cards are beginning to come out. So far it's the yellow ones.
Hayawi huwa kinyang'anyiro cha kombe la dunia nchini Qatar cha ngwananga Novemba 20 hadi Disemba 18, huku timu 32 zikiwania taji. KBC Channel 1 inakupa fursa ya kutizama mbashara kipute hicho kutoka Qatar nyumbani kwako. Runinga ya KBC Channel 1 inakukaribisha kwenye kipindi cha Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Nakwambia kwamba baba, alama ya reli ni Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Na tunakuja nyumbani pale mtaani pale ambapo upo wewe mwenyewe.
Huku ukijishindia zawadi chungu nzima.
Hapa kumejaa vitu kocho kocho.
Jongea. Shabiki kwenye Dunda Dunda Qatar.
Ukitazama unashinda.
KBC Channel 1, wenzio wa dhati michezoni.
studio is now the current flag bearer in the UDA party ticket in the forthcoming by-election in Elgeyo-Marakwet County. I have former Marakwet West MP William Kisang. Okay, Mheshimiwa, let's talk about the issue of insecurity in that particular region. It's been a thorn in the flesh for leaders, you included, to try and bridge the gap and bring peace in that particular region between the West Pokot, the Turkana, basically the south part of it, North Rift. What would you attribute this issue of insecurity about?
Thank you very much. Sorry, my voice. I've been campaigning until
no, it's okay.
until Saturday, so my voice is still coming back. One is it is so sad that in this day and age we still have insecurity in our country, because these are things that should not be there in the first place. I know we have lost lives since early 70s until now. And the biggest problem that we attribute to this is we have a particular region, that particular region in North Rift. There's one particular constituency that is a Tiaty constituency that is harboring a lot of criminals, bandits there, because of neglect by past regimes. And I believe the current government, the Kenya Kwanza government, is in its manifesto. There's a very clear roadmap that will ensure this thing is eradicated once and for all. Tiaty constituency is 1.5 the size of Elgeyo-Marakwet County. For your information, they have 60 primary schools. And Elgeyo-Marakwet County, which is basically like a third the size of Tiaty, has over 500 primary schools, public schools. We have close to about 100 private schools. I mean, there are many. We also have church schools, but Tiaty constituency, which is 1.5 the size of Elgeyo-Marakwet County, has 60. Out of the 60 primary schools, 32, the pupils they drop at grade 3 or class 3 in the past. And then 28, they proceed up to class 8 or say grade 6 in the new system. So where do they go? I mean, it means there's a large population of pupils or young children who drop out of school at the age of, say, 9, 10 years. They go and trade, they become criminals. This is something that needs to be resolved once and for all. We need to open up Tiaty constituency, we need to open up roads, we need to do boreholes, we need to do irrigation. They need to change their lifestyle, because their lifestyle there is to steal and kill, and it's normal. It's not. It looks like it's not an offense for them. And the Kanu regime from 63 up to 2002 never did anything. They didn't open up the place. There are no churches there. People don't go to church. So, and in this new manifesto, I mean, the new government, the Kenya Kwanza government, have a good roadmap. First is to open up roads to ensure the place is accessible. Build new schools and compel parents to take their children to school. Because you can imagine the Pokots from Tiaty constituency, their lifestyle they lead is different from Pokots who are in West Pokot. Because West Pokot, most of them have gone to, actually majority have gone to school, they have opened up the place, people are into farming, into dairy, farming. In fact, there is a particular dairy, Leland, it's called Leland Dairies, that people from Marakwet West and people from West Pokot, basically they own the circle, and they're selling about 50,000 liters of milk daily.
But any time you have a meeting as leaders from that particular region to try and resolve this issue, what are some of the bottlenecks? Where do you find, the headwinds?
One, there was no political goodwill in the last government.
Okay.
Because we had several meetings in Nakuru, we were in Todd, we went to Tiaty constituency, we were in Cabernet, we discussed and we offer solutions. But as soon as we are back here, And then we even told the former CS Matiang'i that it's a PR exercise. But he said, I'm going to do something in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Then you see nothing. They just come back to Nairobi and continue. And business continues as usual. And people get killed daily. You even saw a school bus. Mokil, they were varying students from Tot High School. They attacked at night. I mean, was there a cow? Were there cows in the bus? So that's why we're telling you there was no political code with it. And it requires some serious soul searching and discussion, and also ensuring those who are the sponsors, there are people who are financing this particular...
Which the president talked about around 3 weeks ago.
Yes, there are people who are financing this thing. You know, there are 3 items in this particular insecurity. I believe there are those who want to expand the land. Okay. It's an expansionism. Secondly, there are those who are interested with the cows. You know this, they use the youth, go and raid, bring the cows, and these cows are brought somewhere, I'm told somewhere around Laikipia, by the sponsors. You know, they buy maybe at around 5,000 or 10,000 each. Then they come and fatten the cows and sell them. So it's a commercial. You know, there's a bit of a commercial enterprise in this particular insecurity business.
Okay. I'm quite interested to understand how you're going to, if you get elected as the next senator of Elgeyo Marakwet, because it's going to be bordering, you know, Elgeyo Marakwet, the Turkana, the Baringo, all of that region. What will you do in your capacity to curtail and just bring some sanity in that region?
One is what I'm going to do. One of the first business is to ensure banditry is classified. We amend the law so that whoever is found, you know, banditry is basically killing. It's like murder.
Yes,
like murder.
It's a criminal act.
Yes, but you see the way it's taken now, it's taken casually. It's like banditry is not taken as, you know, there's a bit of economic crime here.
Exactly.
There is murder cases here. So we need to, we change the law to ensure whoever is found perpetuating this act is basically, sentenced to life. Yes.
Okay.
You know, these guys are just arrested, they're released, taken as if it's not a serious crime. One of the things is to ensure this is taken as a terrorist. Yeah. It should be like as terrorism.
Exactly.
We also have those who have lost lives. There are those who have been injured. They have lost the animals. We need to compensate them. We need to change the law to ensure, you know, it is the business of government to protect you and protect your property. Yes. But you see, in the past, we have not been protected. Our property has not been protected. People have been killed, animals taken, people are maimed, and business continues as usual, and the government was doing nothing about it. Yes.
And the president said that he's going to do everything in his powers to ensure that some sanity is restored.
At least we are happy now there's peace, but you know, something needs to be done so that we deal with it once and for all, so that it's not something that's on and off. Yes.
How would you describe the situation right now in Elgeyo Marakwet and other bordering counties?
For the last, say, 3 or so months, there's been relative peace because of change of government. So we don't know what they're doing now. But the biggest problem that I saw while I was campaigning is this particular group along River Kerio, they have crossed to the Elgeyo Marakwet side, taking care of adding the animals, but still with firearms. And you know, there has been some disarmament that is going on, but there is some allocations that the firearms that are being returned are those that are not in good condition. Yes. So we need serious disarmament so that we flush out all these criminals and we return all the firearms so that, you know, the only person who has a gun is somebody who is licensed. Yes.
Do you support the return of the police reservists?
You know, there are 2 issues that needs to be done. One, we need a short-term solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, short-term solution is to ensure National Police Reservists are returned so that they take care of the issues to ensure there is relative peace throughout. You know, the biggest problem with that region, Olo, is the terrain.
Exactly.
The terrain is very difficult.
Yeah.
There are no roads. You can't access even this particular group. And the only person who can help at the beginning to ensure they know the Panya routes is the locals. The police officers who are deployed to that particular region do not know the terrain. And they need the National Police Reservice from the region, from the area, so that they can help them. They help them to move around. Yeah.
Okay.
Because some of the regions, there are no roads. In fact, what they need to do, what the government needs to do urgently, is to open up security roads towards River Kerio.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about the issue here, which I think many people are talking about. Elgeyo Marakwet borders western part of Kenya, which many call the food basket, the food basket of our country. The CS gave farmers in that region an ultimatum to sell their produce. Yes. To sell their maize. And there was a conflicting kind of statement yesterday by CS, who said that, you know, you cannot force farmers to sell their products. I don't know what is your take on this. When you talk of western side of Kenya, you're talking about Kitale, you're talking about you know, Trans Nzoia, you're talking about Eldoret and the entire region. Most of those people depend on farming, and it's a thorny issue right now.
Yes.
Let me get your take on that, Mheshimiwa.
The prices now good. You know, the prices are between around 5,000 to 5,600 per bag of 90 kilos of maize.
Exactly.
Which is, it's a good price. The only challenge that was there last year is farmers were buying fertilizer at 6,500. Top dressing was close also to about the same, about 5,000. So the cost of input was very high. The cost of input of production this year and last year has been very high. And I believe the reason why the farmers are still holding the maize in the stores is they expected a better price, like maybe 8,000 or so per bag. But I want to urge our farmers, please, it is time to sell your maize, because the government say they have a plan to import about 10 million bags.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, they have a plan to import 10 million bags. And the moment the 10 million bags are in the country, the prices are likely to come down. So the best thing to do is this is the best time to sell the maize. Yeah. So,
but without an ultimatum.
No,
72
you know,
hours.
you can't give an ultimatum because it is a free will. This is the maize sector is already, everything has been liberalized in the country except petroleum, which the prices are controlled. But for maize farmers, wheat farmers, the prices, it is the farmer to decide. I can decide. In fact, there is a time I had about 100 bags of maize. I mean, and I didn't sell for 2 years. Yeah.
Just 100 bugs?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a small farmer.
100 bugs, that's more of what we produce in my home county of Homa Bay. But
the whole county.
Yes.
The whole county, I mean, we produce, there are farmers who have 10,000 bags, 20,000 bags of maize.
Yes.
Yes.
But when
those are the farmers now, we are requesting that they sell the maize. And you know, they don't have to sell, they don't have to wait for serious board to buy and to purchase the maize, because the problem with serious board, you can deliver your maize and they might not pay you in good time.
Yes.
And you know, serious board can only buy if Parliament appropriates resources for strategic food reserve, which in the past, I used to work for serious board. So in the past, it used to be 2 million bags. I don't know if it's still 2 million bags now. And you know, it was 2 million bags from 80s. And the population of Kenya at that time was very small. So I believe now the strategic food reserve should go back maybe to around 5, 6, 7 million. Then you hold it maybe for around 5 or 2, 3 years. You know, this is like in the Bible. You remember what happened? You know, there was a season of plant harvest of 7 years. And then another 7 years without food. So the reason for strategic reserve was in case there is an issue, there's a drought, like the way we have now in some regions, so that the government can move in and maybe give relief food.
Yeah, that brings to my next question, where
Yes.
now there need to be some sort of a connection between the government and the farmers in that particular region, because when you have got around 10,000, 100,000 bags of maize in stores, and the government is now importing 10 million, do you really think now there should be some kind of legislative process in Parliament where the government will be compelled that at a particular period they have no alternative but to go to the stores and get bags of maize from the farmers instead of importing from a foreign country?
You know, what is the price? Maybe this particular, if I'm holding my maize in my store, it means maybe I have a source. There's somewhere that I want to sell the maize, or I'm waiting for a good rainy day, you know, when the prices are good like now. So government needs to have a very good relationship with the farmers. The reason why the farmers are not happy with the governments, it is because when time comes for the season to start planting, you know, there was a shortage of fertilizer and very expensive. Government is not subsidizing. The prices of fuel are very high. Diesel is expensive.
Yeah.
You see, the farmer is basically left on his own. And if you're left on your own and you have your maize, you can decide not to sell at a particular time until, especially if you have, you know, the large-scale farmers, if you have enough resources that can help you to continue running as you wait for a good price. So government needs to have very close relationship. They need to have extension officers. You know, the county governments don't have extension officers to also help the farmers, to give them free advice, free education, civic education.
So now what becomes the role of this cereals board?
No, cereals board, it left. I think the cereals board don't have any serious. You know, the problem that we have is in the past, we used to have a certain percentage of the budget that was going to research. You know, you do research so that you can also advise the farmers on the new variety of maize, new variety of wheat, so that, say, every 2-3 years, there is new, you know, you're getting new seeds, new variety of seeds to help the farmers to improve and increase the yield.
Yeah.
But you see, for the last, say, 20-30 years, research has not been there. It's very little.
Yeah.
You know, the donors, the donors they were working very closely then with CARI, which is now CALRO. But for the last few years, maybe close to 20 or 25 years, they have not had resources to improve on the seed varieties, or advising the farmers.
Yes. When you're in Parliament, I believe there are some of the bills which were tabled before Parliament. Probably some did not go to the final stages. What are some of the measures that Parliament were trying to mull to bring food security in this country? Probably some that even did not land on our news desks. The proposals that you had in Parliament, some you think that are quite tangible, that if enacted and put and passed into law, then this country would be food secure.
One is, which was, if you remember, with the big four, the big four, food security was one of the things that the government, the last regime, wanted to implement in the last Parliament, so that it was curtailed. As soon as Anshik came in, we lost. Basically what was supposed to be done within the last 5 years was not done. The reason why there was a serious move to build dams was to ensure there is food security in the country. Along Kerio Valley of Elgeyo-Marakwet County, the reason why Kimwarer Dam was an Aror Dam and eventually Mbabut dams were to be built was to ensure to sort out two issues. One issue was to sort out food security in that region and also in the country, because we wanted to do more than, say, 100,000 acres of irrigation along Kerio Valley. The moment you sort out that irrigation along Kerio Valley, you would have gotten rid of food insecurity in that area and in the country, because we're going to plant maize, we do beet cotton, We do a lot of things. Then secondly, we would have also gotten rid of insecurity, because what brings the insecurity along Keria Valley, it's because of the animals, cows, goats, and sheep. So if you irrigate the whole area, people will go into now zero grazing. And you do farming. Then you would have gotten rid of insecurity, and food security would be secure. So those are some of the things that came to Parliament also. We had bills. Yeah. And then another issue was we had proposals that the country produces its own fertilizer. Why should we be importing fertilizer this day and age?
Yeah.
You remember there was a setup, there was a small plant in Eldoret. Basically it was like they're not doing production from zero. But the fertilizer was already done. It's basically, it's like repackaging and blending. Yeah, they're doing a plant within that, but it's not picked up. Yes. Yes.
Okay. You've mentioned the issue of Aror and Kimorer, which I know it's quite close to the hearts of many people. We've talked about it. It's been politicized. It was a campaign tool from past regime until now. But the president said that it's now time, that's all in the past, and it's going to be activated, and Kimorer and Aror Dam gets to its completion. I want to pick up your mind on this one, Mheshimiwa. When you become the next senator of Elgeyo Marakwet, Aror and Kimorer, we all know the whole story about it. What will be your priority as a senator?
Let me tell you what happened. 2008, I was not even in Parliament then, that is the August 29, 2008. The coalition government of the 10th Parliament actually approved the construction of Aror Dam and Kimorer. 2008? 2008, in its minutes. And they agreed that the implementer was Keria Valley Development Authority. So it's only that the Jubilee government are the ones who, when they came in, and they started now the process to advertise and tender and to kick off the project. The only challenge that we had that time is the community around Kimorer and the community around Aror Dam is they wanted compensation. And it looked like there was no adequate conversation, there was no adequate public participation. They had some committees in place, but there were issues because there was resistance also from the community. The consultants were already on the ground preparing and doing basically environmental impact assessment without the communities being briefed properly. Compensation had not been done. So I believe as soon when these projects will be restarted, my proposal as a senator of Elgeyo Marakwet County is to ensure that we engage the communities first. We discuss with them, we compensate them adequately. If it is land for land, then basically we look for good land, then we show them, then they agree to basically give us space so that we can do the dams, or we give them money, value for money, so that you value the place, compensate them for the land, and also compensate them for the developments that they already have in their own space.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the minimum that needs to be done first.
All right.
Because these are our people, and the people needs to be compensated.
All right.
You can't force them. Yeah. Because they are willing.
Yes.
Yeah, they're willing.
Let's take a break, and we come back. I'm going to give you, ask you your next plan. The by-election is just ahead of us.
The 5th of January.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just ahead of us, and of course people are going for holiday. You really need to talk to people of Elgeyo Marakwet because there's a lot of expectation, and whether you fit in the shoes of Kipchumba Murkomen.
Yes.
Okay. Some big shoes there to fit in.
Mine are bigger.
Let's talk more with that when we come back with Mheshimiwa William Kisang shortly after this.
na dhahabu haiwezi kulinganisha jinsi tunavyopendana mama.
You know everything that has been going down in the world of entertainment, from the events that went down as well as just what has been going on.
Sensational Kenyan boy band La Freak have released their debut album dubbed Love Freaks. The event was graced by the creme de la creme in the entertainment industry.
I say we're talented, we're amazing, so...
My name is Brian Kihindu. I'm the creative director of Nairobi Fashion Week and founder. I'm also the co-founder of Kenya Fashion Council.
One rapper managed to keep her fans entertained in the comfort of their homes. That is Femi One.
Pamba inabambanga kamfuko kakiwa na do. Jaba inakamata madoba zikiwa kwa form.
I am waiting for your love. Missing faces in my room. I am waiting for your love.
Girl, I know that I've done wrong, and I didn't treat you right, honey. I know that I still love you, and our future's bright.
Looking out across the nighttime, the city winds a sleepless eye.
Look at my life, look at my heart. I have seen it fall apart. Now I'm ready to rise again.
We could never, ever make it without you. Me could never make it without you. We could never make it without you. Make it without you.
Where about it today? I want to show them my attitude today.
Ya bwana, ni chuo kikuu cha burudani, mashavu.
Sifika bei umechapa. Kitambe meja utahata.
Nyumbani kaumbea.
Burudani.
Twende tukacheze bango. Mama it takes two to tango.
Na interview kali kutoka Pwani.
Kucheza nawe. Baby nimechizi nawe. Na ukitaka tuiwashe leo.
Bwana, kila siku ya Friday ama Ijumaa ukipenda saa 3 hadi saa 6 kamili.
Fanya kama unacheza isoko.
Kumbuka hashtag Masha. Nyumbani kwa burudani. Usikose tegea show kali tokea Pwani.
All right, welcome back. Now, we're coming to the final tale of this discussion and this interview with William Kisangu, who is former member of Parliament of West Marakwet West, now who is the flag bearer of the UDA party ticket in the forthcoming by-election in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Mheshimiwa, as we come to an end, let me get your point on the issue of CBC. Kids are taking their examination right now, grade 6 and class 8. This a whole process that started way back. And now the first cohort of the students are taking the examination. What can you say about CBC? You in Parliament, and you had lots of discussion in Parliament. People are talking about whether it was supposed to be enacted, it was supposed to take place, amendments, and right now we have got the Presidential Working Committee to see into the CBC. Let me get your mind on that.
Thank you very much. First, I want to take this opportunity to wish the KCB and KCSE and grade 6 students and pupils success in their ongoing exams and exams that are beginning also this coming Friday across the country, and especially Elgeyo Marakwet County. Wish them success. Secondly, is this CBC thing was added. Started again, there was no serious public engagement with the public. Because, you know, these days, you know, our constitution is very clear that we need to do public participation for these things. But it looked like the ministry, I don't know, in its own wisdom, in the last regime, they came up with this system and they started, and it continued, but there was a lot of resistance, especially from parents, also from the pupils, because you have to engage. It's a good thing. I know when you're doing the homework, you know, the parents are supposed to be there closely and engaging with the pupils. But the issue that also came up while I was walking around and moving around in Elgeyo Marakwet County is, I think the ministry forgot that there is a class of pupils who are taken care of by the grandparents. You know, if a child is born, maybe the parents are pass on, or the daughters leave the kids with the grandparents.
Yeah.
And these are grandparents of, say, 80, 90 years. They don't have any smartphone, and they're supposed to download some things and help the child. But it's a challenge. This system is actually good for urban areas. But in the interior rural, it's not the best. But basically, at least we have the Presidential Working Committee on this particular CBC issue. But most parents, most people are saying, if CPC must continue, the junior secondary school should be domiciled at the primary schools where the children are.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Just before we wind up, Elgeyo Marakwet is now looking for the new senator.
Yes.
And do you really fit, are you going to fit in the shoes of Kipchumba Murkomen?
One is...
You said that your shoes are bigger.
One is... People have different styles of management.
Exactly.
Different styles of leadership.
Yes.
You cannot be exactly a replica of another person. You know, God, in his own wisdom, created each one of us uniquely. You know, even the air that you have in your head, or on your head, is, I mean, God is the one who has created. So, William Kipkemoi Gisang is not Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen. We are different. And each, him, he has his own way of doing things. I have my own way of doing things. Number one, I have experience. Now, I was born 55 and some months, years ago. Grew up, went to a primary school, Chepkum Primary School, went to Chabara Boys, St. Patrick High School in 10. Went to Kenyatta University to do double maths, statistics and computer science. Went to UK to do some postgraduate diploma in computer studies. Then did masters at the University of Nairobi in business administration, but basically specializing in IT. And I worked for government for 3.5 years, went into business to do IT, and I still do it. And for the last 10 years, I've been serving as a member of parliament.
And you believe that Elgeyo Marakwet now deserve you to be their next senator?
Yes, I have that experience. One, I wanted to tell you, I have the experience of over 10 years as a politician. I have good network across within the country and outside the country. Number three, I'm a good performer.
Yes.
What I say, I deliver. What I cannot do, I'm unable to do, I'll also tell it as it is. So I want to tell you, the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County will be very happy with me.
Okay.
Because one, I'll articulate the issues at the Senate. One of the issues that I want to be changed in the next review of the formula for revenue allocation, Elgeyo Marakwet County actually is number 3 from the bottom in terms of allocation of revenue. And they don't deserve to be in that position because the size of Elgeyo Marakwet County is bigger. Our population is high. We have a very difficult terrain of Elgeyo Marakwet County. If you do some satellite area of Elgeyo Marakwet County and you want to take a photo so that you can know the actual size, Elgeyo Marakwet County is bigger. But because of taking that area, we have an hanging valley that basically I believe requires to be discussed when that revenue review comes up, so that the resources that we are given, even to do, say, a kilometer of tarmac or a kilometer of Maram Road within Elgeyo Marakwet County, is not like the others, because we are unique. God created Elgeyo Marakwet uniquely, so that at least revenue is increased.
Yes. In the interest of time,
yes.
Within 30 seconds, your plan for Elgeyo Marakwet, 30 seconds kindly.
The plan for Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Yes.
One is what I was just saying, that to ensure that I lobby so that the formula is changed to ensure revenue increases that will go to Elgeyo Marakwet County. One, we will work very closely with the leaders of Elgeyo Marakwet County to ensure a university is set up in Elgeyo Marakwet County. We started the conversation from around 2016,
yes.
But along the way, the government froze opening up of new universities. But now it's right. We want to open a new university in Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Okay.
3 is insecurity. We want to ensure we get rid of this insecurity in that region once and for all. So that, I mean, this is, we're in this the new age, technology age. Yes, this is a technology age. We should not be talking about banditry. Yeah, I mean, we should not be talking about this.
Mheshimiwa,
yes.
Promise that you'll come back to the show. You're a friend of KBC.
No, yeah, you know, I remember in the last parliament when I was the chair of ICT, yes. I gave you guys a lot of resources to do some improvement. At least I'm happy that you know, some work was done around here.
We've improved. You did well as the chairman of the committee.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much. I ask the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County that come the 5th of January, you elect me as your next senator so that I take Elgeyo Marakwet County to the next level. And you'll be proud of me, and you'll be very happy that you didn't make a mistake by electing William Kisang as your next senator.
Mheshimiwa,
God bless you.
All the very, very best.
Thank
you so much.
Yes.
That is William Kisang, who is now the UDA candidate for the Elgeyo Marakwet by-election slated for 5th of January next year.
Yes, yes.
All the very best. Okay, let's take a break right now. Actually, we are not taking a break. We are heading...
Also to do an appeal that all my colleagues, the 21 of us,
okay.
The 21 of us who stood for the primaries.
I'm told that I'm going to lose my job. There you have it. Rashid Momkondo standing by on Radio Taifa Zinga there. Rashid and Dora Manya taking it away to give us what we need to understand. Rashid, mambo vipi and hujambo? Good to see you.
Show me the way I can go. Take me by the end.
Oh.
Show me the way.
La afya mtazamaji, kumbuka barabara kabisa mtazamaji, mahali popote ulipo, ni furaha iliyoje asubuhi ya leo tunapojiunga pamoja kwenye kipindi Zinga kupitia KBC Radio Taifa sauti ya Mkenya, na vile vile pia kupitia kipindi Good Morning Kenya kupitia runinga ya KBC Channel 1. Na hii leo mtazamaji, hatuangazii siasa kwa sababu umezoea kwamba Jumanne kwa kipindi hiki tunazungumzia siasa. Leo hii tunataka kuangazia sekta nzima ya afya mtazamaji. Kumbuka, taifa lililo na afya ni taifa lililo na utajiri. Msikilizaji, kumbuka sekta ya afya ni muhimu sana katika maendeleo ya taifa lolote, na hivyo basi busara kama taifa kuangalia tuko wapi katika hali nzima ya afya na mpango wa mikakati ya mwaka wa 2030 mtazamaji. Kwa sasa kumbuka, sekta ya afya imegatuliwa. Zipo baadhi ya sehemu ambazo zimegatuliwa na zipo sehemu ambazo bado ziko chini ya serikali kuu mtazamaji. Je, serikali kuu inafaa kuangazia nini ikiwa sekta hii itaweza kuimarishwa? Hii leo ndani ya studio mtazamaji tumemwalika muuguzi wa miaka mingi, na kwa sasa yeye ni mbunge wa Moyale, Mheshimiwa Profesa Guyo Wako Jaldesa, ambaye amekuwa mhadhiri wa masuala ya afya ya uzazi. Na vile vile pia mtazamaji na msikilizaji, tunaye mweka hazina wa chama cha wauguzi Bi Maureen Nzioka. Bila shaka tutaendelea jukumu kubwa sana ambalo wauguzi wanalo katika kuhakikisha Wakenya wana afya. Bila kupoteza nukta, sekunde wala dakika, karibu sana Mheshimiwa Jaldesa ndani ya studio zetu za Radio Taifa na KBC Channel 1.
Asante. Thank you.
Na vile vile pia karibu sana Bi Maureen ndani ya studio zetu.
Asante, shukran.
Labda tu tukianza na mheshimiwa mbunge ambaye umekuwa profesa na umekuwa katika swala zima hili la afya ya uzazi. Je, hadi kufikia sasa taifa letu la Kenya, afya yetu unaweza ukaiweka katika kiwango gani? Tuko vipi katika afya?
Shukran. Tukiangalia Kenya kwa jumla, tuko nyuma. Na ukiangalia afya ya taifa yoyote, ile kitu watu waangalia sana ni afya wa kina mama. Na kwa hiyo tunasema maternal mortality, kiasi ya kina mama wanaaga dunia wakiendelea kupata mtoto wako kiasi gani. Na ukiangalia Kenya tuko hali ya juu. Tukiangalia infant mortality, yani watoto wale wanakufa wakiwa kwa miaka yao ya kwanza ama the first 5 years, pia Kenya tuko nyuma. Na haistahili kuwa namna hiyo. Ukiangalia maternal mortality, wale wakina mama wanakufa wakiwa na mimba ama wakati wa kuzaa mtoto, ukiangalia figures yetu ni karibu 500, no, actually 1000 times higher than ile nchi ya Europa. Na the same kwa pande wa watoto. Na hizo kifo zinatokea, haitokei kwa ajili ya vitu hatuwezi kuzuia ama hatuwezi kutibu. Inatokea kwa ajili sisi kama society ya Kenya hatujaamua ya kuwa maisha ya kina mama ama maisha ya watoto inafaa kukingwa. It's just that we have not decided that the lives of women is not worth saving. But sio kitu ngumu vile. But ni kitu kwa ajili sisi hatujaamua ya kuwa kama nchi tunafaa tuwe manani na kuzuia hizo ugonjwa na vifo inatokea ya haifai kutokea. So ukiangalia hizo vitu hali yetu sio mzuri ya kujivunia.
Bibi Morina, unatoka katika sekta hii na kweli wewe ni mweka hazina wa chama hicho cha wauguzi nchini Kenya. Sijui unakubaliana na kwanza na sentiments ambazo Mheshimiwa Jaldesa ameweza kuzizungumzia kuhusiana na idadi ya wanawake wanaofariki wakijifungua na watoto, na vile vile pia utuambie, je, sekta ya afya katika taifa la Kenya kwa sasa nyinyi kama wauguzi mnaitizama kwa mtizamo gani?
Asanti, nakubaliana naye profesa kabisa kwa 100%. Manake kuna changamoto sana kama sisi wauguzi ambao tunaipata sana sana kwa kuweza kuwahudumia wa Kenya. Kwa mfano ametumia mfano wa kina mama na watoto. Maana tunasema katika dini yetu, community yetu kuwa mama ndio mtu ambaye tegemeo la jamii. Na hapo ndio unapata pia kuna uzazi na kuangalia jamii vile itaendelea, na hapo ndio pia nchi itaweza kuendelea pia vizuri. Changamoto iko kama sisi kwa wauguzi, manake pale chini tukipenda kama level 2, level 3 za health center and dispensary, utapata kuwa kuna changamoto ya wauguzi ambao ndio wako pale wanasimamia hizo health center na dispensary. Utapata kuna changamoto ni mtu mmoja tu ambaye amehitimu kuweza kuhudumia hawa wagonjwa. Utampata mtu mama amekuja ako na hii shida fulani ambapo hawezi kuhudumiwa pale chini mpaka kuwe referred. Lakini anapokuwa referred hakuna anayebaki pale kuweza kuhudumia wengine ambao wanaokuja. Katika hii hali utapata hali ya huu mgonjwa imedhoofika, kisha ataweza yeye mwenyewe kuaga ama mtoto kuaga kabla tuweze kufikia level 5 kule weza kuokoa maisha ya mama na mtoto. Sisi kama chama cha wauguzi tunasisitiza ya kuwa tunataka wauguzi wengi waweze kuajiriwa. Wauguzi ambao wamehitimu wanaelewa vizuri kuhudumia hao wagonjwa. Hivi sasa utapata kuona wauguzi wengi wanaweza kwenda nje. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ya malipo duni hapa, vifaa vya kufanyia kazi hamna. Tumeweza kusema kama chama shida ambazo wauguzi wanazipata, lakini hatuoni serikali ikitilia maanani. Jambo lingine ni kuwa ningependa kuambia wanasiasa ambao hao ndio huwa wanaahidi wa Kenya kiujumla.
Yuko hapa mmoja
na natumai anaisikiza na ataweza kujibu kwa sababu huwa wanafika wanatuahidi mambo mazuri pale tuweze kuwapatia hizi kura. Lakini unapofika kwenye bunge hawatilii maanani yale aliyotuahidi. Umesema ya kuwa afya, bila afya hamna nchi. Kweli bila afya hakuna jambo lote waweza kulifanya. Lakini jambo letu twalilia kuwa ni kwamba waweze kuwa wanaangazia afya iwe uti ya nchi. Bila afya hamna nchi. Na tunasema ya kuwa wakifika kwenye bunge waweze kusisitiza kuangalia kuwa serikali imeangalia malipo ya wafanyakazi, motivation, ndio tuweze kuwahudumia wale wagonjwa, hizi vifaa za kuwahudumia wale wagonjwa kwa haraka na kwa njia iwezekanavyo. Changamoto ipo tena mingi sana, lakini ombi letu ni kuwa waweze kushughulikia ili hali kwa njia ya dharura na waipe kipeo kilicho mbele ya kuweza kuhudumia, manake tunaona nchi yetu inaadhirika bila afya. Unaona saizi kuna kiangazi. Afya pia inadhoofika. Ukipata mtu hakuna hajakula vile viungo ambavyo vinatakikana, huwa tunawaambia wakula a balanced diet. Atatoa wapi? Si ataadhirika. Ile hali atakuja tena kwenye hospitali ambayo hii itakuwa bado ni changamoto kwenye serikali. So kwa hivyo sisi tunasema muweze kuangalia sekta ya afya kwa maana na kwa mweke roho yenu zote pale. Hakuna haja tuweze kutafuta, unapata watu wengine wanataka kusema wanataka kwenda nje kupata matibabu. Lakini mwanzo ujaangalia kabla ufike nje, unafaa kuwa umepata first kusaidika hapa mwanzo kabla upelekwe nje. Kupelekwa pia nje unahitaji kuwa na muuguzi, pia daktari aweze kukuzindikisha kwenda kule nje. Mbona tusitengeneze kwetu, tunaangalia ya nje? Mimi nasema tuangalie kwetu kwanza. Nishibe kwanza ndio niweze kukuangalia wewe jirani ambao unalia njaa.
Shikilia hapo mtazamaji, kama unavyosikia Bi Maureen Nzioka hapa anatema madini, kuyatema kweli ni swala muhimu la afya. Nirudi kwako Mheshimiwa. Bi Maureen ameweza kuzungumzia changamoto ambazo wauguzi wanapitia, na vile vile pia amedokeza kwamba kuna uhaba wa wauguzi na madaktari. Na kumbuka Umoja wa Mataifa unasema kwamba angalau madaktari 23 ikiwa ni wauguzi, madaktari, wale lab technician, clinical officer waweze kuhudumia watu takriban 10,000. Na serikali imesema kwamba ya Kenya Kwanza ilisema itaajiri wauguzi na madaktari 20,000. Mheshimiwa, hili linawezekana?
Nafikiri serikali wakiamua, kitu kwanza, mimi nikikaa hapa sikae kwa niaba ya Kenya Kwanza government. Nafikiri ni muhimu watu waelewe.
Kweli.
Wala sikae hapa kuwakilisha Wizara ya Afya nchini. Mimi ukaa hapa kwa binafsi yangu. Kwa hivyo singependa kujibu swali mingi ya Kenya Kwanza. Lakini serikali wakiamua, hiyo ndio kitu muhimu, itawezekana. But ile kitu problem ile tuko naye ni hawa kubali ya kuwa hii ndio priority yetu ya kwanza. Afya ya nchi ndio iwe priority. Na mpaka hiyo ikue, mpaka waweke hiyo kama priority yao, then hizo vitu tunaongea yote ni ndoto. 1963 wakati Kenya ilipata uhuru, tulisema ugonjwa 3 ile tunatakana tupigane naye, adui 3 ni ugonjwa, kutofujua na umaskini. Ugonjwa ilikuwa priority number 1 tangu 1963, lakini kutamka na mdomo is one thing, alafu kutenda ni kitu kingine. So tukisema tunataka kuajiri watu, tuko na uwezo ya kufanya hiyo, lakini mpaka tuitimize, mpaka tuseme kitendo yetu iwe mali mdomo yetu iko, mali tunatamka ndio tuitimize, then tutakuwa mbali. Na tangu 1963 hadi wa leo sijaona kwa ajili Kenya Kwanza ama serikali ya KANU ama serikali yote ya Kenya ni serikali ya Kenya. Hakuna tofauti, kwa ajili yote ni serikali ya Kenya. Yote imechaguliwa na raia ya Kenya. Na hakuna siku tumesema wacha tupeane afya kikao ya mbele. Other things inachukua nafasi ya mbele, afya inakuwa nyuma. So kama kuna budget inakatwa kwa afya. Lakini ile kitu watu hawajui, afya ndio the pillar ile nchi inasimamia. Na vile wakati ulianza kusema our health is our wealth. So serikali wakiamua leo kuandika watu kazi, tuko na watu ya kutosha wale wametimu. Madaktari, doctors in this country wako wengi na wakitafuta kazi na wapati, ndio wengine wanaenda nje. Nurses tuko na wengi ndio wanaenda nje. Kwa nini tusiwaandike kazi wafanye kazi kwa serikali? Ni kwa ajili serikali hawajaona umuhimu wa afya. Hiyo ndio ukweli ya mambo. So hali yetu ya afya ni mbaya. Hali yetu ya afya ni mbaya. Lakini tunaweza kutatua? Yes, tunaweza kuitatua.
Mheshimiwa, ukisema kwamba hali yetu ya afya ni mbaya, bunge katika taifa la Kenya linacheza dori kubwa sana. Ndipo hata tunaona petition nyingi zinaletwa bungeni. Je, ukikaa hapa, najua uzungumzie kuhusu serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, lakini wewe ni mbunge wa taifa la Kenya. Je, mna mikakati gani ya kutunga sheria kuimarisha sekta ya afya? Kwa sababu saizi afya gharama imeenda juu, mheshimiwa.
Gharama inaenda juu kwa ajili ya sekta ya afya ya serikali ndio iko hali duni. Ndio watu wanaenda kutafuta afya nje. Na bahati mbaya, wakati tulibadilisha katiba 2010, afya ilifanywa devolved unit. Na hata serikali kuu isipokuwa kutengeneza policy, maneno mingi ya afya inafanywa na hiyo watu wanaitwa county government. Na county government PS ama minister akisema kitu, wanasema wanaingilia kazi yetu. But yes, tumeingia bunge sasa, tunaona kuna kasoro katika hiyo sheria. Ikiwezekana tutaona vile tunaweza kusaidia Kenya ipate sheria nzuri. Pengine kuna sheria, kwa mfano ninasema mbaya kwa ajili kuna daktari moja specialist wa ugonjwa fulani. Ameandikwa kazi kufanya kazi, kwa mfano Kiambu. Hiyo zamani hiyo mtu anaweza kutumwa aende kazi popote Kenya hii nzima. Sasa yeye ni daktari wa Kiambu, hawezi enda Muranga, hawezi kuja Nairobi. Na ukiwa Nairobi umeandikwa na county government ya Nairobi, huwezi tumika kwingine hote nchini. Kwa hivyo unaona, we cannot share resources na human power, health resource, human resource for health. Hiyo human resource for health atuitumii vile tunavyo hitaji. Kama mahali natoka ni county ya Marsabit. Ukiuliza kama kuna specialist yoyote katika hiyo Marsabit, pengine kizidi ni mmoja au mbili. Na kuna kwingine hiyo specialist ni mia, hundreds of them. And those ones, because wameandikwa kazi na hiyo county, hawezi tumika kwa county zingine nchini. We need to see how we can change this law into nchi ifaidike kote uniformly. Those areas ilikuwa na disadvantage wakati tangu uhuru, wanaendelea kuwa na hiyo disadvantage. Kuna resources ilikuwa imetengenezwa, hospitali ilikuwa inaitwa county provincial hospitals, provincial general hospital. Hiyo ilikuwa resource ya taifa. Sasa imekuwa resource ya county.
Ndio.
Na ile kitu tulitumia kusaidia hiyo, kujenga hiyo sasa ni ya hiyo county fulani.
Ndio.
Na wale wengine hawakuwa na hiyo nafasi, bado wamebakishwa nyuma.
Bila shaka Mheshimiwa Jeldesa, nimekuelewa vizuri sana. Mtazamaji, mwelekezi wetu anatuambia tupate pumziko fupi, tutakaporudi tutasonga mbele. Lakini leo hii kama nilivyokutajia pale awali ni kwamba hatuangazii siasa na tunaangazia swala la afya. Studioni niko naye Profesa Guyo wako Jeldesa ambaye ni mbunge kutoka sehemu za Moyale, Gatuzi la Marsabit, na pia ndani ya studio niko naye Bi Morin Nzioka ambaye ni mweka hazina wa chama cha wauguzi humu nchini. Mtazamaji, tunapata pumziko fupi, tutakaporudi tutasonga mbele. Kumbuka ni kipindi ambacho kinakujia kupitia KBC Channel 1 na vile vile pia KBC Radio Taifa Sauti ya Mkenya Zinga, ambapo mwenzangu Dora Manya yuko upande wa pili. Tutakaporudi vile vile pia tutazungumza nawe msikilizaji kuhusiana na swala zima hili la afya. Lakini kwa sasa World Cup iko KBC.
Na dhahabu haiwezi kulinganisha jinsi tunavyopendana mama.
You know everything that has been going down in the world of entertainment, from the events that went down as well as just what has been going on.
Sensational Kenyan boy band La Freak have released their debut album dubbed Love Freaks. The event was graced by the creme de la creme in the entertainment industry.
Asenu are talented and amazing, so
Mwezi moja sasa imekuwa mwaka.
My name is Brian Kehinda. I'm the creative director of Nairobi Fashion Week and founder. I'm also the co-founder of Kenya Fashion Council.
One rapper managed to keep her fans entertained in the comfort of their homes. That is Femi One.
Pamba inabambanga kamfuko kakiwa na do. Jaba inakamata madoba zikiwa kwa form.
Hayawi huwa kinyang'anyiro cha kombe la dunia nchini Qatar cha wananga Novemba 20 hadi Disemba 18, huku timu 32 zikiwania taji. KBC Channel 1 inakupa fursa ya kutizama mbashara kipute hicho kutoka Qatar nyumbani kwako. Runinga ya KBC Channel 1 inakukaribisha kwenye kipindi cha Dunda Qatar.
Nakwambia kwamba baba, alama ya reli ni Dunda Qatar.
Na tunakuja nyumbani pale mtaani pale ambapo upo wewe mwenyewe,
huku ukijishindia zawadi chungu nzima.
Hapa kumejaa vitu kocho.
Jongea shabiki kwenye Dunda Qatar.
Ukitazama unashinda.
KBC Channel 1, wenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Kapiko KBC, na bila shaka unayo nafasi pia hii leo kufuatilia tena kabisa uone inakuwa namna gani hapa ndani ya KBC. Mengi zaidi katika muda usiokuwa mrefu. Rashid, kama uko tayari, muda si mrefu tunarudi upande wa kwako tuone inakuwa namna gani.
Yupo mwenza alikuwa ametaja nukta muhimu na nikaona ulitaka kuichangia. Bila shaka fursa ni yako sasa.
Asante. Ningependa kuchangia kusema ya kuwa mwaka wa 2013 ambapo ugatuzi ulikuwepo, katiba 2010 ambapo ugatuzi ilipochukua ushukani, iliwacha kipengele cha afya ambao ya human resource, ambapo ni kipengele muhimu sana kwa afya. Kwa hii kipengele utapata ya kuwa venye mheshimiwa alikuwa ameyazungumzia, ameyataja mambo moja wapo ya kuwa na transfers. Ili hali hichi kipengele ndio hapo utapata kuna mambo ya kupandishwa cheo, kuna mambo ya discipline, kuna mambo hizo transfers, mambo mengi yamechangia pale, kwa sababu hicho kipengele ambao kinashikilia umuhimu wa afya kwa sana. Utapata utachukua mfano wa wauguzi ambao mmoja yuko Makueni na Kitui na Nairobi kama mfano. Kwa upande wa promotion ambao tunasema unapo promote muuguzi pia ni njia moja ya kumpatia moral ama motivation ya kusonga mbele. Utapata muuguzi kwa Kitui alipoajiriwa mwaka huo wa 2010 aliajiriwa kwa job group H ambapo ni kwa Kiswahili. Baada ya miaka 3 inafaa uendelee kusonga mbele, kwa maana inaitwa common cadre, ambapo watu wanaoajiriwa wote pamoja wanafaa kusonga pamoja. Utapata ule yuko Kitui na Makueni amesonga mbele kwa sababu ya hizi wanasiasa hao wanafuatilia kwa kulingana na mapendeleo yao, hawafuatilii kulingana na sheria ya Public Service Commission ambayo kuna guidelines ambapo imepeana ya kufuatilia hayo mambo. Utapata muuguzi yuko Nairobi aliajiriwa wakati mmoja na yule kwa Makueni na Kitui hajasonga, yuko pale pale. Sasa tunauliza shida iko wapi? Mbona hizi sheria za public service ziweze kufuatiliwa? Utapata pia national government ambapo wao ndio wa policy makers na hao ndio wanafaa kuwa wanaonesha njia mwafaka kwa counties, maana wamekuwa hizi muda wote waonyeshe njia kazi vile ambavyo imekuwa ikifanyika. Utapata hao wenyewe ndio wamezembea kwenye kazi kabisa. Hamna, utapata mtu amekaa miaka kwa job group moja kwa miaka 15 yuenda nyumbani, miaka yake imeisha kufanya kazi. Huyu mtu una expect ataishi vipi baada ya hapo? Una motivate huyu muuguzi ama mfanyakazi wa afya vipi? Wewe kama kiongozi uliye pale. Sasa sisi kama chama cha wauguzi tunasisitiza ya kuwa pia hii ni dhulma kwa haki za kibinadamu. Itakuwaje unataka nitekeleze hii kazi kwa njia ambapo inayofaa, na hili hali pia wewe huniangalii maslahi yangu? Maisha yanabadilika kila siku, maisha yanakuwa magumu, lakini sheria zipo ambapo zimewekwa ambao unafaa kufuatilia, ambapo zinafanya, lakini utapata serikali kuu ndio ambao inaangusha wizara ya afya. Na tunasema ya kuwa tunataka mabadiliko kulingana na manifesto ya serikali ambayo ilipo kwenye saizi kwenye uongozi, ilituahidi kwa manifesto yake kuwa itaangalia mambo ya Health Service Commission. Sisi wote kama wauguzi tunataka kuona tunasonga mbele, tunahudumia Wakenya wetu kwa njia ambayo inafaa. Hataki kuona kuna changamoto za vifo ama changamoto ya kukosa vifaa za kufanyia kazi, ama vifaa viko pale hatuwezi kuvitumia manake hatuna ule ujuzi. Haya yote yanatakikana tukiwa na Health Service Commission, manake itaangalia ile hali ambapo mimi kama muuguzi nitaweza kufanya kazi kwa njia ambayo inayofaa.
Bila shaka Bi Morin hapa mtazamaji anazidi kutema cheche. Mheshimiwa Bi Morin amezungumzia swala muhimu kama maslahi ya madaktari wauguzi nchini yameweza kutupiliwa mbali. Je, unahisi ipo haja labda hii sekta ya afya ibakie national government, intolewe ku county government, because naona kuna siasa ndani yake?
Asante. Kwa maoni yangu ya kibinafsi
ndio
ningependelea ya kuwa kuna sekta ya afya igawanywe mali mbili. Na kwa mfano kuna hospitali inaitwa sub county hospitals level 4. Pengine ikiwezekana, na tutajaribu kuleta hiyo bungeni, level 2, 3, 4 pengine ibaki chini ya serikali ya county, na ikiwezekana level 5, 6 iwe kwa national government. Kwa sasa tuko level 6 peke yake ndio iko national government.
No.
Na ukiangalia hiyo level 6 ni kama Kenyatta National Hospital iko level 6 national government, Mathare Mental Hospital iko level 6, Spinal Injury Hospital iko level 6, na gani ngine Eldoret Moi Teaching Referral Hospital iko level 6. Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital iko level 6. Ingine yote iko level 5. Na iko level 5, hii hospitali ya level 5 inawekwa chini ya county. Na vile mimi ningependa kuona kama kuna daktari ako Kisumu, anaweza kupigwa transfer aende ahudumie watu ya deployment. So hata transfer pengine inamaanisha kitu kingine, but deployment, you can be deployed kutoka Kisumu uende uhudumie Garissa. Ukiwa Garissa unaweza kudeployediwa kwa kwenda Muranga. Hiyo ndio kitu ningependa kuona, so that halafu kuna hospitali kadhaa ile tunaweza kufanya county hospitals iwe under national government. County refer kwa ajili kila mahali kuna hospitali tunaita county and referral hospitals for the purpose of standardization. Ningependa kuona hizo hospitali ya county referral hospitals iwe under the national government, deployment ya staff iwe under administrative headquarters, because somebody can be moved from kutoka sehemu hii apelekwe sehemu fulani. Kama kuna shortage ya watu fulani tunapelekwa mahali fulani. Kwa mfano ukiangalia kabisa wakati ya corona, ili muangazia watu shida ile iko na Kenya hii. Kuna counties fulani haina ICU bed hata moja. One ICU bed. Na kama una ICU bed, na wakati ya corona watu walikuwa wagonjwa, walikuwa na hitaji msaada, mtu kutolewa kutoka kwa mfano Kitui, sio ati siseme Kitui haina, siseme Kitui haina, lakini kama unakuwa na unahitaji ICU bed, unaweka kwa ambulance, unakimbizwa mpaka Machakos. Machakos wako na ugonjwa yao, au wenyewe wanakosa mahali ya kuweka watu, watakuwekea kwa wapi? So ukiangalia kaskazini mwa Kenya, sehemu mingi haina hizo vifaa, na kila wakati mtu anawekwa kwa ambulance anakimbizwa, mara mingi wanaenda kufa barabarani. Kweli. Na kama tungekuwa na equal distribution of health resources, health facilities, hizo shida ingekuwa. Ndio sababu ninaona we need to have that equitable distribution of resources katika nchi yetu. Na that can only happen tukitoa hizi hospitali fulani chini ya county tuweke chini ya national government. Ndio deployment inakuwa rahisi, resource inakuwa rahisi. But sasa watu wanapewa pesa ya kwa afya, wanaenda kununua family relief. Ama wanaenda naye kujenga barabara. Ndiyo. Na hiyo barabara ni contract mtu anapewa, sio ati kuna barabara inatengenezwa. Kama tungekuwa na barabara ingekuwa sawa. Lakini pesa imetolewa kwa afya, imewekwa kwa barabara, ukikuja baada ya mwaka moja kuangalia hiyo barabara hakuna.
Watu wamekula pesa.
Wamekula pesa. So but kama vitu inafanywa under national government, kuna supervision level inatakikana, kuna equal distribution of resources. Hiyo ndio kitu mimi naonelea.
Okay. Kabla ya kuweza
hiyo, hiyo inaweza kufanyika tukiwa na Health Service Commission. Health Service Commission. Tukiwa na Health Service Commission, that madaktari, wauguzi, laboratory clinical officers, kila mtu awe under that commission, then people can be deployed to different places.
Bila shaka msikilizaji, ni matumaini yangu kwamba Mheshimiwa Jaldesa kwenye vikao vya bunge tutakuona ukiweza kuwasilisha mswada kuwe na tume ya kudhibiti maafisa wa afya humu nchini. Kabla kuenda upande wa pili wa studio tupate simu 2-3, labda tu nirudi kwako Bi Maureen. Mheshimiwa hapa ameweza kugusia swala kimfano, kimpango tu nimesikia akizungumzia kuna kaufisadi mahali katika hii sekta ya afya. Je, nyinyi kama chama cha wauguzi mnapigia vipi swala hili la ufisadi? Kwa sababu kweli utaona pesa imetengewa katika afya iweze kuhudumia madawa, wauguzi nini, utasikia imekuwa diverted kwa project nyingine.
Shukran. Mimi ningependa kusema ya kuwa sisi kama chama cha wauguzi hali yetu ni kuangazia panapotokea shida yoyote pale na kusema hili halifai kwa sababu tunapeana sababu ambazo pia sisi tungependa kama chama cha wauguzi ambapo hizi tukatai Kenya ni yetu sote. Shida inapotokea kama wakati wa kiangazi kama hivi, singependa kuona ndugu yangu akiwa Marsabit, mwingine ako Moyale yuafanja, na kama nina chochote cha kumpa nitatoa, lakini tunasema pia hata hivyo manake pia atakuwa amedhaufika kiafya. Tungependa tunasema ya kuwa tuangalie pande zote mbili ili hali tusiangushe upande mwingine, tuinue mwingine, manake afya ndio uti wa nchi hii. Naam. Bila shaka msikilizaji, pia kama unataka kuzungumza na Mheshimiwa Jaldesa ndani ya studio kuhusiana na swali lolote, kumbuka yeye ni mbunge wa Moyale lakini ni mbunge wa Kenya. Sheria anazozitunga katika bunge la kitaifa zinanisaidia mimi na wewe, na vile vile pia yuko Bi Maureen Nzioka ambaye ni mweka hazina wa chama cha wauguzi. Labda tu nizunguke upande wa pili, mwenzangu Dora Manye ndapo unanipata.
Rashid nakupata vizuri.
Na tuchukue simu 2-3 kule, wasikilizaji wanasemaje kuhusiana na mada yetu ya leo.
Radio Taifa, halo. Hello. Radio Taifa, halo.
Lola.
Yes.
Amjambo kwa studio.
Tuko wazima.
Hata nami mzima nashukuru. Mimi nauliza daktari, kuna ugonjwa huu wa sukari. Ugonjwa wa sukari ni kama ugonjwa wa tuseme sugu, ni kama HIV. Mbona serikali sifanye mpango wa kupea hao watu dawa bure? Manake wanaumia sana. Mtu nakuta ananunua dawa moja shilingi 10. Halafu ni mtu ana uwezo. Mbona wasifanye mpango kwamba wapeane kama vile wanapeana dawa za HIV? Hiyo ndio swali yangu.
Asante sana. Radio Taifa, halo. Hello Radio Taifa.
Halo.
Yes.
Dora na Rashid na wageni wetu, hamjambo?
Hatujambo.
Mohamed Dawa Kipini. Sasa mimi masala yangu ni mawili ya kufanana. Kiini cha afya ni dawa, ndo muhimu kabisa ili kuilinda ile afya au kuhudumia afya. Huwaje hizi hospitali za sasa? Zamani kulikuwa hospitali zina madawa, hizi za sasa zina ukosefu wa madawa. Kilo changia kitu gani? Kisha kliniki za watu binafsi zinakaa na dawa, hupata wapi? Na hizi za serikali za wananchi hukosekana vipi? Unaona. Shukrani masala.
Asante sana. Moja hapa Radio Taifa.
Dora Manya.
Yes.
Ulimaliza kwa mara kutoka hizo, hamjambo?
Hatujambo.
Mimi nauliza hivi, kila serikali kisha inaongea mambo matatu: afya na elimu na njaa. Sasa afya Kenya hii itatufikisha wapi? Mpaka leo hii ukiangalia kama hapa Lamu, kwenda hapa Msegetoni, unakuta hakuna mandawa hata moja upati, lakini ukiandikiwa unaandikiwa kwenda sisi ukapimwe nini, kwa hivyo ukapimwa nini, hii hata moja ya yenyewe hakuna mambo ya mandawa. Ukiweka mti yako baada ya siku 2 mandawa napeleka kazini majirani. Sasa Kenya ni serikali iko na shida ama ni nini iko na shida?
Asante sana. Tukirudi kwako Rashid, pia wageni wetu wakiweza kutueleza pia labda wanafanya nini kutetea Mkenya kuhusu gharama ya matibabu humu nchini. Maanake wengi wanalalama gharama iko juu, hata kuwa na NHIF, lakini wanahisi kwamba pia bado ile gharama iko juu.
Asante mwenzangu Dora, na waheshimiwa tuna dakika 7 kuweza kujibu maswala hayo, na mko at liberty kutackle swali lolote ambalo limeulizwa kwako mheshimiwa na kwako Maureen.
Alright. Nafikiri vile watu wameongea ni kuonyesha kuwa kuna tatizo, na ya kuwa vile tumesema hali ya afya yetu nchini haijafika kiwango ile inatakikana. Hiyo ndio majibu wameconfirm. Lakini kuna serikali kuu nchini imeweka NHIF nchini, na wakaambia watu wale wajiwezi wajiunge na NHIF. Kwa watu binafsi shilingi 500 kwa mwezi, na wale wanafanya kazi kulingana na job grade na mapato yake anachanga pesa. Nafikiri ninasikia mtu mwisho kabisa anachangisha kama 150 kwa mwezi. Ndio aweze kupata msaada mzuri. Lakini ukiangalia wananchi wetu wangapi wanajilipia hiyo NHIF? Na ukiwa mnajilipia NHIF hiyo madawa ya sukari unasema na dawa nyingine mingi pengine ungepata free. Lakini kwa vile hatutumii, na mara mingi hatutumii kwa ajili hatujajua ya kuwa, hatujafahamu ya kuwa NHIF ni kitu inayotuhudumia. Na tunatakana kutumia services kama hiyo NHIF ndio tuweze kupata. But ile shida nyingine kubwa sana ile tunapata county government pote kukote nchini. Jana tulikuwa na President Ruto. Tulikuwa na President Ruto jana kwa kikao ya pastoralist parliamentary group. Na alisema katika hizo sehemu za pastoral areas in the last 7-8 years tangu ugatuzi ilianzwa, serikali imepeana zaidi ya trilioni 1. Na ukienda hapo nchini ulize hiyo pesa imetumika wapi, haionekani. Kwa hivyo wananchi wa Kenya wajiulize, walikuwa wanachagua watu aina gani? Tunachagua fisi kama viongozi wetu, alafu tunaanza kulia ya kuwa hatupati huduma. Wewe ulikuwa wakati ulichagua mtu akue gavana yako, ulichagua nani? Na ulikuwa unatarajia akufanyie nini? Ndio sasa tunalia ya kuwa hatupati services ile tunastahili. Kwa hivyo makosa kubwa ni kwa wananchi vile wanachagua viongozi wao, especially katika counties. Especially katika county wamechagua watu kwa pande wa maendeleo walikuwa naangalia, ama walikuwa naangalia ukoo na kabila na nini. Na kama hiyo ndio umeangalia, umechagua na umepata, na hakuna haja tunatetea au tunalia ya kuwa hawa watu tumewachagua, ni sisi ndio tumewachagua, hawatuhudumii. Kwa ajili hujachagua mwili atakuhudumia. Na maneno mengi watu wanapenda kuongea sana ya kuwa hospitali ya serikali watu wanaiba madawa. Hiyo madawa hakuna kitu inaibiwa. Dawa hakuna, hawajanunua. Magovernors hawajanunua hiyo dawa. Ukienda tulikuwa last week kwa KEMSA, kuna counties fulani, kwa mfano walitaja Nakuru kama county wanajua wanatumia services mzuri sana, na wezi sikia wakiliteta. Wengine hawajalipa pesa tangu 2015-17, na kama hawajalipa hawezi chukua dawa. Badala kwenda kuchukua dawa kwa KEMSA, wengine wanafikiria waende wanunue kwa private. Wanachukua kwa private kwa nini? Kwa ajili kuna kickbacks. Kwa nini Nakuru inafanya mzuri na others haifanyi kazi vile inatakikana? Uliza kwa nini Lamu, kwa ajili mmoja wao leo alipiga simu kutoka Beketoni. Kwa nini Lamu hawahudumii wananchi vile inatakikana na Nakuru inahudumia? Wewe ulichagua nani? Shukran.
Haya, Bi Maureen, naona dakika 3 kuweza kujibu kabla tuondoke hapa studio.
Naam, okay, asante. Ningependa kusema hivi. Nilianza kwa kusema political will. Hawa viongozi ambapo kulingana na vile mheshimiwa alivyosema ni viongozi wa aina gani, una roho ya aina gani, una nia gani ya kuongoza wa Kenya. Umeingia kwenye bunge ama ile cheo ambao umepewa ni ya kuhudumia watu ama kwa kujifaidisha wewe binafsi. Kumbuka hawa watu wasipokuwa hakuna atakaye kupigia kura wewe mwenyewe. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa kuwaambia na kusisitiza ya kuwa wanasiasa kwa ujumla waweze kuwa na roho ya kufanya nchi yetu iwe tofauti. Kwa sasa hasa afya, sekta ya afya. Waangalie madawa yao hospitalini, uwe na wafanyakazi wa afya wa kutosha, huduma ziweze kukua, vifaa ziwepo, tuweze kupunguza haya madhara yote kwetu sisi kijumla. Manake nikisikia fulani ameaga pia mimi nimepoteza, nikisikia mwingine ameugua pia mimi nimeadhirika kijambo kivingine, na hivyo haitufurahishi. Kama mimi muuguzi napoona nahudumia mgonjwa wangu na ningeweza kumsaidia nipate kifaa fulani sina na aweze kuaga, huwa inani dhoofisha, naenda kama nimesikitika na sijui hata ni la kufanya. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba kama chama cha wauguzi, tunaomba wanasiasa, tafadhalini mnapokaa bungeni angalieni masilahi ya afya, mzingatie, mweze kuona hao Wakenya ambao wenzangu ambao wapiga kura wa kusema wanataka madawa kama watu wa diabetes, ugonjwa wa sukari, madawa ya kuwepo. Angalieni masuala haya kwa undani, manake tumaweka pale, mweze kuangalia masuala tukukwe, yani kama kiongozi ambao uweze kuzungumzia wengi, manake sisi wote hatuwezi sema kwa pamoja. Lakini hao ndio masuala tunaleta kwenye, tukisema tunataka afya iangaliwe, afya iwe tofauti. Mimi kama muuguzi anapoamesema swala la NHIF, utapata kuna job group nipo. Na mimi ni muuguzi, naweza fanya kazi pale popote. Lakini utapata siwezi nikaugua sasa hivi hospitali ambayo iliyo karibu, nafikiri ni hapa Nairobi Hospital ama Mpisha. Siwezi kwenda kule manake sikubaliwi, na ile hali mimi natoa huduma za afya. Je, tunataka mambo kama hayo yaangaliwe? Acha mhudumu wa afya aweze kutibiwa popote pale yupo, aweze ndio, kwa sababu pia na kuwe na moyo pia kuhudumia wenzake. Kwa hayo machache nasema shukran, na langu ni kusema serikali, tafadhali angalieni masuala ya afya kwa undani. Wacha mpe kipeo cha mbele afya Kenya yetu iweze kuendelea mbele, manake sisi tupo kuweza kupeana hizi huduma. Asante.
Bila shaka hapo ni mahali pazuri sana pa kuweza kutamatisha mjadala wetu asubuhi ya leo. Kumbuka tumekuwa nao ndani ya studio Profesa Guyo Wako Jaldesa ambaye ni mbunge wa Moyale, na kumbuka Profesa ni miongoni mwa madaktari mtazamaji wanaoongoza nchini kwa masuala ya afya uzazi, haswa uzazi wa akina mama. Na vile vile pia asante sana Bi Morin kuja ndani ya studio na kuweza kupaza kilio chako, na vile vile pia kuweza kuzungumzia. Ni matumaini yetu kwamba tunapoanza huu mwaka mpya, serikali na sekta mbalimbali zitaweza kuzingatia umuhimu wa afya, angalau kama alivyosema Profesa, tukipata uhuru tulikuwa na maadui watatu: ujinga, ugonjwa na umaskini. Angalau tuyapunguze. Miaka 59 baada ya uhuru bado tutazungumzia masuala ya afya, umaskini na ujinga. Asanteni sana wageni wangu kwa kuja ndani ya studio. Profesa, nitakuwa na kuangalia sana bungeni, nisikize hoja na miswada pale. Mimi niko na wewe tu. Mimi naitwa Rashid Momkondo. Asanteni sana nyote ambao mmefanikisha kipindi hiki, wakiwemo mafundi wa mitambo upande wa redio chini ya Bwana Kimani, na vile vile pia mafundi wa mitambo chini ya runinga. Leo sitawataja nyote sababu ya muda. Kwa niaba ya kuu wangu Bwana Geoffrey Onditi na Lucy Wahome, mimi naitwa Rashid Momkondo, na kuregesha upande wa pili ambapo mwenzangu Dora Manye yuko standby. Tumpishe John Angare na taarifa ya habari. World Cup iko KBC.
Shukran Rashid na msikilizaji, bila shaka
the excitement. Relish every moment. Get 1.5 GB at 50 bob, valid for 3 hours. Furahia futa. Dial *544 hash. Make Chaguo smarter na Airtel, the most affordable network.
Make transactions anywhere in the world with the NCBA Visa card and stand a chance to win big. Join the FIFA World Cup 2022 when you win an all-expenses-paid trip for you and your +1 to watch 2 games. Or win exciting weekly prizes that will make your FIFA viewing experience super duper. All it takes is a swipe or a tap to pay 2,000 Kenya shillings or more with your NCBA Visa debit or credit card. The more you swipe or tap to pay, the higher your chances of winning with 1 point for every 2,000 Kenya shillings spent. Don't miss out. NCBA. Go for it.
From that cogent discussion there on healthcare provision, we now train our focus on matters women in construction and manufacturing. I have created FaceTime with Esther Waikuru, who is the head of community development at Build Her. She'll be talking to us on more about this particular topic and also make us understand the space of women in this sector. Welcome to the program, Esther.
Thank you, Doreen.
Let's just start by understanding Build Her, when it was established and what it sought to mitigate.
Okay, thank you, Doreen, for giving me a chance and giving Build Her a chance. Build Her is a training organization that empowers women in construction skills and link them to high-value jobs in construction and manufacturing. Build Her was established in the year 2018, and the training actually began in 2019. Yes.
So this is like what has been 3 years of just making women feel like this is an area they can actually get into.
Yes. Yes, true. This is an area where women feel comfortable, women follow their dreams, and they are able to achieve what they've aspired to do since they were young. Yes. So we train on various trades. Currently, we are training on carpentry and joinery, painting and decorating, tiling and flooring. Yes. And the training is purely women. And we are so excited because these women are from vulnerable situations, mostly from the informal settlements. So we focus from women aged between 18 years and 50 years. We've had women who are older who you didn't expect to join. So these women, most of them are single mothers, but they didn't have that opportunity of getting a skill that they can use to gain probably their economic empowerment. So you find the women did not have, when they were growing up, they didn't have access to education, neither training. So we give them a space and opportunity to follow their dreams. Yes.
I mean, this is an area where you really wouldn't see the female folk mostly. And we'll come to the challenges momentarily. But just from you as an individual, why did you feel the need to get into this space and more so even be part of persons training women in construction and manufacturing?
Thank you. The reason why, and most of my colleagues join, is because of the passion that I had individually to ensure the vulnerable people, at least they have a voice. And the voice could be in very many aspects. That could be social and economic empowerment. For this room, for this idea is for Build Her, we ensure this woman who had lost hope, who had seen like the life is coming to an end, has skill that she can go out there and the contractor or the employer is proud of her because of the skill that she is giving out. Yes,
I hear you. So then you talk about the vulnerable, those in the informal settlements, and I mean, when you look at this sector, we have just said it over time. You don't see women a lot in it. Some might even have been forced to study something entirely different, but their passion is in this area. So imagining you're not coming from the informal settlement, you're not coming from the marginalized area, but it's one of those things you really perhaps might want to do. Do you also accommodate, this set? Or, for starters, you're just really dealing with those from the informal setups?
So when we opened our doors in 2019 for the women, it was purely on the women from informal settlements because of also the poverty levels that are there. Because these women didn't have access to education. But as time has gone, we found out even women from the peri-urban areas are interested. Probably you might think they are well off, but some of them even do not finish education. But you find they'll come to request to join. And what again I'll want to say, these are women who didn't finish education. Some of them dropped at standard 6. Some of them probably dropped at Form 1, Form 2, so they don't have a certificate for Form 4. So majorly, a majority of our women are from that target group. But we also have another number of women who finished college, but their passion is construction. So they will come and they will get that skill because our training is purely centered on hands-on. Yes.
I mean, it's quite interesting to hear you say that someone went to college, finished, but they came back. This was their passion. You really don't hear a lot of that.
Yeah, true. True. It's not. I think it's the avenues that have not been there. Like I said, you find some women feel comfortable to do some skills because, as I had started by saying, Builder is the first training center and the only for now in Kenya that trains purely women. So you will find some of them will come and tell us, wow, all this time we've been looking for such a chance, but we've never had an opportunity or somewhere where we can come and do such a thing. That has been my calling, but I've been asking myself, where can I get that skill? So you find they join Builder because they've been looking for it. So you find women have been silently wanting to join, but they don't know where to join. So this is a high chance. I tell women, now it's your time to prove yourself. You can do it. Yes.
It does not matter gender, notwithstanding.
Gender notwithstanding.
There's no career for gender. There's no industrial sector for gender.
Very right. Because what we are doing, we are trying to integrate, not to say that when we go to the employers, we don't say employ our woman, employ this artisan because she's a woman. No. Because we ensure this woman has the skills. So we tell the employer or the contractor, this is an artisan who has skill. Because we've come to the industry to complement what has been there. So you find in the construction industry, the women are very few compared to the men. So that's why Builder, we are coming in to give room to the women to get the skills so that they can join the construction industry. Yes.
Let's not just go to those issues that really hamper women from joining this kind of sectors, the construction sector, manufacturing sector. I know you're trying to bridge that gap by training, but there's really quite a lot, particularly when it comes to the mental or how we view and see it. How big of a challenge is this when it just comes to women trying out in construction spaces and manufacturing sector?
That's a very good question, actually. because that is the basis of why Build Her is there.
Okay.
I can say it's been a challenge to change mindset. You start from the woman, the community, and the employers. It goes like that. So for us as the institution that trains women, apart from the technical skills, that the three that I've stated, that is carpentry, painting, and tiling, we also have the support training, that is holistic employability wellness skills. They are known as life skills in other institutions. This one, we train the woman to navigate, to be able to navigate in this industry, because the training focuses on communication skills. Remember, this is a woman who didn't have access to any education, probably small education, but was not given room to be able to communicate professionally. So we give that room to this woman to be able to communicate professionally, because we understand communication skills can give you leadership. And then there is the issue of sexual gender violence, especially these women who majorly don't, some of them, those who don't finish education, you find they drop and they give free labor back at home. And some of them, they are abused. So most of them are really traumatized. By the time they come to Build Her, they are really traumatized. So we give them that access, that room and capacity to be able to navigate outside. In the construction world, just like any other job, it's not easy. It's for them to know how to navigate. So there is money management, how to manage their money. Remember, these women were back at home or they were doing minor jobs, but here they are going to get at least money that's going to make them probably buy a property, buy assets. So they need to understand how to manage that money. Leadership, conflict management, and on top of that, what I'd say, because what we do also in the market, we don't work in isolation. We go collect survey from the contractors. They give us feedback. What are the gaps or what are the needs that they need to provide? So like now we realized they need physical stamina. We introduce physical exercises, and then we introduce yoga and nutrition health. And lately we introduce mental health, because this holistic wellness, you find they are able to maneuver and navigate in the construction scale. So at this rate, they are able even to change back at their homes, their husbands' mindset, their parents. So they're able to work and achieve their goals.
I like that aspect when you talked about physical activity, because then this is one of those jobs that really requires a lot of energy and strength. So you need to be well able to handle it. But let's backtrack and talk about mindset a bit. You know, quite a lot of shift begins from the mind. And I also, like the progress in terms of even shifting their husband's mind or their brothers, uncles, and so on. But from your own analysis, do you think that this needs to begin from perhaps even school level? I mean, I was just telling you earlier that even from back in high school, you'd have mentors, role models coming to speak to high schoolers. It's either a journalist, an engineer, a doctor, a nurse. It's rare, quite rare, that you'd hear someone, from the construction area, either a contractor, coming to speak on this sector or area, or an area that you could perhaps venture into, and particularly for women. Do we need to start from that particular place, and perhaps what can we do to just begin from there?
That's great. I think that's a great idea, and which Build Her is embarking on. Together with the Ministry of Education and the county government, That's an idea not only at Builder, because for us we are doing that, mentoring young girls in schools, in primary and secondary. What I'll also amplify is it's good to have mentors, not only in Nairobi, for children when they grow up, they know this is a job, a skill that you can use it at your own home, that you can get money immediately. You learn, you start learning and earning. So it's a good mindset where when they grow up they know, oh, this is an option that I can take, and this is an option like any other that gives money at the end of the day, that I'll support myself and I'll support my family as well as the nation at large. Yes,
I hear you. The Ministry of Treasury allocated 27.2 billion, I believe, in this current financial year to affordable housing. It is a matter that the previous regime was strongly, for in respect to the 500,000 units. They barely even did half of that, but at least they did something in terms of progress. We laud that because it was something compared to nothing. It is a matter that you've also seen this regime pick up, and should be like 5,000 units somehow by end of next year, somewhere there. And we have seen the president also just trying to launch projects here and there respect to issues of housing. From what you do at Build Her, is this part of also how women will be integrated into some of these projects so that they can also feel like they are useful in society in respect to what the government is perhaps doing?
Okay. First of all, I'll commend the government. That's a very good initiative, even to address the housing issues that is spread all over in the urban centers of Kenya. So for this, I'll say, like Build Her, we are working very closely with the State Department of Housing and Urban Development. Actually, we had our first inaugural Women in Construction Conference last month, where we invited, the PS was there, and we also had the Deputy Governor of Nairobi, and we had the first ladies from 4 counties, that is Nyamira, Marsabit, and they came, and we believe as Build Her, this is a step that we are taking to address that, because the women that we train, they can easily be absorbed by the housing project. And when I talk about the women we train, we encourage also the government to give avenues to women where they can use that opportunity to use the skills that they have, and also empower other TVET schools. Things like what I could request is things like machinery and some tools at times to be subsidized, so that you find these training institutions they can afford for us to be able to match the world. For that, I can say, like Build Her, what we do, as I had stated, we collect survey from the contractors, and we check at the gaps in the skilled labor. This informs us in the training program that we have. We ensure we have the current machinery that is used worldwide. So to be able to compete worldwide, it doesn't mean only we use the the materials that we found here. Even we do our research very widely to ensure that the woman that graduates, it's a competent woman, because this woman graduates after 12 months. Yes.
You've just talked about give avenues to women. I'd like to pick your brains on just strategically, how do we do this? How do we give avenues to women to be part and parcel of some of this project, for instance, bearing in mind that we still have a lot of challenges that women face in this particular sector or industry, so to speak? How do we do this?
So there are several ways to give avenues to these women. First of all is the one I've said, is capacity building them. The women should be aware of their strengths. And that's where we really support the women on self-awareness. to give them a voice. So when they go out in the construction industry, they are able to show their prowess, their skills. It's not a matter of giving that opportunity to that woman because she's a woman. Let the women show you, give that woman room. And I'm happy to state that the employers and the contractors that we've worked with, before they were hesitant. You have women who work, you want to bring women who work in the carpentry or the painting or tiling. How? There was that question mark. And then the next one was, of course, harassment. Men are not used in the site to have women. But
Working
later,
together with them.
Yes, but later, we told them, give them an opportunity. And we are happy to report the contractor embraced it because the women showed themselves. They are able to communicate. They are able, if there is something going wrong in the construction, they are able to know who to link up to. They are able to raise the challenges that they face. And I also want to say we have a placement department, a team of a builder team that goes to check on trainees who have finished the 4 months. Remember I said they are 12 months.
Yes.
But they are divided into 3 4s. So we call it the 4-4 models. So the first model is where I talked about intense training at our training hub, and they also do internship. So it's so unique, unlike other training institutions. This one, you train, but you do internship within the 4 months. After the 4 months, you do placement. Placement is where you earn and learn. This is a very good opportunity for women because not everywhere where you go, you learn and you earn. You get at the same time. And then the 4th month is where we give you alumni support. Just building you, where did you like it most? What support, what capacity would you like to add on top of what you get? So you get, these women are able to raise their voices wherever they are. Yes.
I like that. Well said. You just did mention that you work hand in hand with State Department.
Yes.
You've mentioned the ministry as well. And you're clearly also one from this particular sector. I'd also just want to get it from you. What would you perhaps give in terms of your own view so that then this does not become a project like what we saw? In essence, it actually materializes. You're talking about this 5,000 units. We understand that even the 500,000 units that were proposed from the previous regime, some of them are actually still ongoing in areas of Pangani and Ngara, as we speak. This is another project being spearheaded by this government. What would you give in terms of just so that we actually this projects, they don't just become proposals and ideas, but they actually do materialize for the benefit of Kenyans?
So my proposal will be the government to work closely with the community people.
Okay.
So
more like with you?
Yes, more like with us, and also mashinani, the people at the grassroots levels.
All right.
Because as much as they don't have capacity on economic power, the people in mashinani have ideas. And they can give those ideas to the government. So when together the government, the civil society, the community, they work together, they can say, yes, we want our houses to look like this. This is the size of house that we from people in mashinani, we can afford.
Oh yeah, because you also get sometimes, the houses are constructed, but people are not going to stay there.
Yes, so they can give their voice. Just give them room. Yes, you can guide, but give them room to give their ideas, to share their ideas. Because I believe they have so much, because at times poverty can push you to have creative ideas, but you don't know where to give your ideas because you are economically incapacitated. Yes.
So more or less like work with those ones that you want to construct these houses for.
Yes, yes. And like for us, you know, like when the government incorporate local communities working for the local projects, there is a lot of ownership, because people embrace it because they say, we are the one who constructed this house, these are ours. So they won't say, this project was constructed by me, probably X or Y. So it's not
or just
ours.
by the government. It's actually, we are together with the government in this.
Yes, we need to work together.
Okay, I hear you. I mean, 3 years down, what has been the uptake of women in this sector? Because you realize, much as you want to talk about shifting of mindset, it just doesn't happen pop. You know, it takes time, it's gradual. So what has been the uptake of women in the construction and manufacturing sector from your own assessment?
To start off, when we started in, let me start with Builder. When we started in 2019, honestly, it was quite hard because we had to go to work, and this really helped us. We had to work with local communities, CBOs that are rooted in the community. So to change the mindset, even at times, of women was kind of hard. But when we graduated our first cohort after 4 months, then what they did out in the field was something very good. This also attracted those who had wanted to join, but they were somehow 50-50, they were not sure. And then there were those who never knew that this is something they can follow. So you find, like now, we've trained over 350 women. For this cohort...
This is from when you actually...
Yes, from 2019. Actually, for 2020, during the COVID period, we only trained 1 track because we closed. But for now, you find we are recruiting for cohort 10. The number we are getting is so much because we are getting over 500 applicants. And for this, what I want to point out, as much as we get our applicants, it's a vigorous exercise because for now the number is so high. Because people have understood, it's like you had stated earlier, it's a job like any other.
Yes.
So it's vigorous. You have to show us commitment that this is your passion. We have to go under an interview of panelists that includes our partners, that is our peer partners, and also community leaders. Just come and show us, what do you want? What do you want for yourself, for your community, for the country? When we give you this opportunity, what are you going to give back? Yes.
You know, when you talk of a woman or women, you know, one might just think that perhaps taking a classical scenario, this is a construction site, you know, because it's a woman, one might just imagine the work is just to carry the stone, bring water. But you just said, you know, it's vigorous, it's a vigorous kind of training. So maybe just walk us through to understand so that actually we can begin to appreciate that, you know, even what that man can do in that construction site, a woman can also do, because then, as you've already rightfully put, this is a career like any other career. It's an industry like any other industry, and there's no gender when it comes to industry and sector. So what activities are this?
Okay, so as I had given you the approach, the 4-4 model.
Yes.
After the 12 months, this woman is required to sit for NITA exam.
Okay.
These exams are accredited by the government. So they get grade 3 certificate. So when they join the industry, they are skilled laborers. So when they go there, unlike initially when people thought, when people see women inside, that's the work they give them. Carry the stones.
Yeah, you see?
Yes.
That's why we have you to like demystify for us.
Yes.
Oh, don't look down on these women in the sides.
Don't look down on them. So these women
carry the nails.
Yes. Come, just carry water for us. But you find these women, they come with the skills.
Okay.
So they are good carpenters. They'll do your kitchenette. They'll do your painting, the decorating. decoration of the walls. Like now you have the decoration that looks like a wallpaper, but it's used by paint. They'll do tiling. So they come with that skill. Just give them room. And I'm happy for the contractors that have given them that chance. So they'll do just like the other skilled laborers in the market. So they'll just do the same.
So they're also well equipped, well skilled.
They are well equipped,
properly trained.
Yes, after 12 months they are well. That's why I said the 4 first months they train. It's a vigorous training, but they also go for internship. You see, they are at our training hub, but they go out in the field. Saturday and Sunday they are out in the field. And then after 4 months they train, they go out there. Some of them self-place themselves. Self-place is where they go look out for jobs. Because we've already taught them on communication skills. So they'll go there, talk, look, they have their profiles. They'll go, they have their CV, cover letters. They have something to show, this is what I did. So they continue learning. That is the 4 months. And they earn. And then after the other 4 months, they continue, remember. So it's vigorous 12 months where they earn and learn. So when they go out there in the market after 12 months, they are able to fit in with the others who are already in the industry.
I hear you. And you've just picked my mind because I was just about to ask you, so then after that, how do they get these jobs? And is even the market receptive? Because it's one thing to equip, train, and ensure that someone is skilled in a particular craft. But again, because of the gender card and the gender question, like you're continuously saying, it's an area that is not fully embraced. It's just a slow uptake in it. But is the market even, conducive for them to actually believe that a woman can be there constructing, these houses for you?
Yeah. So, true. We've had some who didn't know that a woman can do it. That is very natural because this is quite new. As I had said,
it's a new area.
It's a new area. As I had said, we are the first training center that trains only women. So you'll find some contractors who've never engaged women. They are at times receptive, but we tell them, or the women tell them, just give us a task. Give us a task.
Just try me.
Try me. Give me. If she is a painter, she tells the contractor, just try me. Give me a wall. I show you. Just tell me what you want. Scheming, all that. If she is a carpenter, she'll tell him, show me what you want. So whatever they do is what proves and changes the mindset of the contractor. And the feedback we get is very good. Because even during the inaugural, the Women in Conference Construction, Fundis in Construction, we had many fundis, many contractors who came and gave their testimonies on what initially they thought and what they are seeing now. Yes.
I get you. And I mean, I can tell you for sure there's nothing as beautiful as when someone believes in your skill. I mean, good number of us are here because someone took a chance. Someone said, let me just try. They've said, let me try. Let me just try them.
True.
And look at how it is. All right, we have like 3 minutes to exit this space, and I wouldn't want us to do that without getting your mind, just as we did on perhaps what you'd recommend the state to do in respect to the housing issue. I also want to pick your mind on the construction site areas. Recently, we've seen buildings coming down, collapsing. Just the recent one, what happened in Ruiru. I mean, just when you look collectively between Nairobi and Kiambu, 4 buildings already in these 2 counties. So much as yes, you're offering trainings and skills, what in your own assessment or analysis, what would you recommend we do to perhaps just reduce on this or end it altogether?
Okay, actually that was a sad story, what happened recently. So what will request the government at least to do the due diligence. If there are building codes that are needed to be followed, let them be followed. The engineers, the architects, please let them do. So for us as builder, we empower our trainee to be aware of their healthy and safety. So actually we have a health and safety topic. So when the women are out there in the construction sector, we train them to be aware, to take care of themselves first. They come first. And if there is anything about health and safety they might see, they might come across during their work, they need to report to the supervisor. So, and that's why we have also the placement department that comes, follow them while they are doing their placement. So issues like those, that's why we sit with the we like to sit with people like the State Department of Housing and Urban Development to raise such things. So our women are well equipped to take care of their health. But for the government, we request they do due diligence. Just go at the ground, look if the procedures are being followed, everything, the requirements are being done as per the books. Yes.
And lastly, very quickly, Esther, there's plans to increase, women in the construction sector from 3% to 10%. How are you planning to do this? Just very quickly.
Okay, for Builder, what we are trying to do, we are including more trades. We are planning to include more trades. Currently, we have 3 trades. So we'll probably have gypsum training, and also another way of increasing the percentage in the construction is having more other centers in other towns and other cities. Actually, we had interest from Kisumu and Kilifi to start a Builder. That's in plan. Probably in 4 or 5 years, that's where we are going to roll, and other cities. Yes. Yeah.
Well said. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you a lot.
Also just enabling us to understand the issues and challenges that women face in this sector and how we can perhaps increase the uptake of women in the construction and manufacturing sector. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Asante.
Asante sana.
I have been speaking to Esther Waikuru, who is the head of community development, and Builder, of course, talking to us about women in the construction and manufacturing sector. Good place to end this conversation, and ultimately, good morning, Kenya, from me and on behalf of the entire team. Asante sana. Till tomorrow, good morning.